So for me, it was when I was like a little kid, and what I would do is, holy shit. Just talking about it made me kind of emotional, but it's like I would love sitting there and listening to every day. I would sit there like as a little kid right before school, and I would rewind Lion King on loop, and I would watch that shit because something about the story was always like pulling me in. And it's funny because as a little kid you don't think about that stuff, you don't think about why that is, you're just translated into it, you're just absolutely immersed, and that comes from not only that beautiful animation but those voices that bring those characters to life. You're hearing Mufasa's words and it feels like a real person, and these are drawn lines. Like, that's the power of voice acting, and that's the power of James Earl Jones's voice, and I think that's something that we'll never lose sight of. It'll always be around. What he did was show us the complexities of fatherhood with his characters, or at least for me, that's what stands out so much. On the one side with Mufasa, you have that father that's trying to be a guiding light, someone who just only cares to have his son be in a world when he's set up with all his responsibility. How does one deal with that? And that's what I always found with Mufasa, is that he's a great character because he's someone who, even though he was strong, he was powerful, he was an example, we saw him in vulnerable states. James Earl Jones' voice when he's Mufasa and as he cries for his brother to help him up from a cliff and his own brother turns on him, like, that feels real because he's not calling up to Scar as like a friend or anything, he's calling to him like a brother, and James Earl Jones is able to portray that in a way that feels so grounded and real. It brings these characters to another level. The moment in Empire Strikes Back is one that really stands out to me as well, is this moment where he's playing Vader, and it's the scene where he's force connecting with Luke, and it's right after their battle. He cuts his hand off, yada yada, you know the story. He goes down off Bespin, they leave, and they're having that back and forth, and Vader's like, you know, he's saying Luke, 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 you know, asking him to join him, yada yada yada, but then at one point he doesn't say Luke, he goes, son. I believe he says it in this one, in Empire. I hope I'm not misquoting that, that'd be awkward, but the point is, it's the fact that he starts, instead of trying to recruit him for a logistic dark side thing, it's the fact that James Earl Jones brought in this moment of humanity where he's like, son, like, he like, and in Return of the Jedi, he brings that even more. There are moments where him as a character, he is conflicted, like when he says it's too late for me. But actually think about that. Actually think about the fact that you're looking at someone with a mask, you're not seeing their face, you're not seeing anything that can translate that other than them standing there. But we love Vader so much, we understand his emotion because we get the inherent things he's thinking, and that, I think that comes from the fact that James Earl Jones, with such little line delivery, with such little lines, he's still able to deliver something so human, so empathetic, so tangible. And there's so many other roles James Earl Jones has done. I'm just talking about the ones that really, like, they're the ones that impacted me as a child, the ones that will really stick with me until I'm, you know, gonna be old and stuff like that, if I make it that far. He was an artist who connected with so many through his art, and it's something we can never take away from, and I hope he rests easy. But that's the thing with this video. Like, if you want, instead of like yes, may he rest in peace, but tell me your favorite moments. What are the moments that made you connect with James Earl Jones, and why you love him too as an actor and as a performer and as someone who brought something to us that we're just better off with. I'm so happy to be on the timeline where I got to experience his art and experience him as a figure in this thing we call life. Rest easy. Give me your favorite. What are your favorite James Earl Jones moments that were just connected with you as a person? Thank you so much for what he's done. Rest easy, legend.